Now, before we make this exploration, there are certain words that I need you to know what they mean. So, because if you know what these words mean, once I use them in a sentence, you will not be lost. You will still understand what I'm talking about. So those words, you can call them key terms. Key terms, I am going to write about 4 of them right now, and we shall discuss what they mean. And then from there, we take it from there. So the first one, the first key term, this is very important. It's called standard position. Standard position. So next one is called initial side. Initial side. Next one is called terminal side. Terminal, like where it ends. Terminal side. And then another one that is very important to us now would be reference angle. Reference angle. So these are the key terms that we must use in order to describe our angles. All right. Okay, so now let me redraw my diagram. The same diagram I drew above, let me redraw it beside this. Let me redraw it beside these key terms. So I'm just going to draw a coordinate plane. Just understand that I'm trying to draw a straight line. Okay? I'm just trying to sketch a straight line. All right? So, and this is usually your x-axis, you know that. And this is your y-axis, and you have your own scale, whatever that scale might be. And then this was where we started with, or started from. Okay, so now, assuming you have a unit circle, assuming you have a unit circle, and that your unit circle covers this distance. You know, this unit circle covers this distance. This is like you are holding a thread, and your thread is like something like 1 foot or 1 inch or 1 meter or 1 yard or whatever. And then you attach an object to the thread, and there you are here. And then you swing your thread to go round. You swing your thread to go round. So now you swing it. So this thread, at some point, it came here. Then at some point, it came here. Then at some point, it came here. So now when it moved, this part where it started with, is called the initial side. So here is your initial side. This is where the journey started. And then once you swing it, it crosses, come here, but you're still swinging. It came to this point. Then you keep swinging. It got to this point. So once you got to this point, which corresponds to your y-axis in the coordinate plane, you have covered 90 degrees. And on this 90 degree, you have also made a pi over 2 radian. The same thing, 90 degree is pi over 2 radian. And then you keep going. And then this object, you keep going, and you got to this point. And once you got to this point, all of a sudden you stop. So now you have covered 90 degrees, and you have also added another extra angle to it. So there is definitely an angle that is greater than 90, which you have covered. There is definitely an angle greater than 90, which you have covered. Now, considering the coordinate plane, this point has a coordinate axis, like your x, y. It does. So your x, y would be the the X value here, and then the corresponding Y value this side. So now let's give it a number. So let's give it a number. Let's give it a numerical number. So let us choose a number like 4, 4, 4 square root of 3. 4, 4 square root of 3. So we're giving it a number, and our number happens to have a radical form. So what that means, generally, what that means is this is your X, Y, and that means it is 4, 4 square root of 3. All right. Now, if you drop down the X axis, so at this point you have a 90 degree here. You have a 90 degree. So now at this point you have an angle which is equal to 180 minus the angle of the standard position. So this angle that I'm highlighting right now, I'm both facing, whatever you call it, is angle theta. So theta is your angle of the standard position. So you can call it standard theta is equal to standard position angle. Standard position angle. So, and then this point where it stopped, at this point where it stopped is the terminal side. Okay? So this point where it stopped, not start. So at the stopping position, it's called the terminal side. So, am I making sense? So the terminal side is basically the line where the whole thing stops. It is basically the line, you can call it a ray or you call it a line where the movement stopped, where the initial position, moved and stopped. So you can say that the initial position ray, you can call it ray or you can call it line, it doesn't matter. The initial position ray, moved in circular direction and stopped at, so it stopped at what? The terminal side. It stopped at a position called, terminal side. So this term is important to us. Initial position is also important to us. Okay. Then, since it stopped, this line, this terminal position, on the other hand, made an angle. It made an angle with the horizontal. It made an angle with the horizontal, and that angle made, the terminal position line made with the horizontal is called reference angle. Okay? So another definition is the angle made by the terminal, the angle made by the terminal side with the horizontal axis, is called reference angle. Reference angle. So that's what it's called. Okay. Let me repeat. The angle made by the terminal side, so this is the terminal side, with the horizontal, this is the horizontal, is called reference angle. All right, it's called reference angle. So these are the key terms that we need.
Mr. Ukaegbu, can you scroll it down a little bit?
Yes.
So you see the terminal?
Yes.
Wait, so terminal and reference is the same thing?
No, the terminal side makes an angle with the horizontal side. So that angle that is made is called the terminal, is called the reference angle. So this line that I'm highlighting right now, you can call it a line or you can call it a ray. It makes an angle with the x-axis, and then that angle that is made is the terminal angle. So if you're looking at this, let me enlarge it a little bit. And instead of theta, we can call it theta prime. You can call it theta prime. Okay? You can definitely call it theta prime. So this is theta what? Prime. The theta is the standard position, and then the theta prime is the reference angle. So what that means in terms of number is 180 minus 180 in this particular case, because there are other cases. So I'll come to that. I will come to that anyway. So let me go. Let me do something else before I come to that.